Hello everyone and welcome to this video of Folklore Talk. So in this video I'm going to be reading through and giving my thoughts on the Brothers Grimm fairy tale, which is called The Poor Boy in the Grave. So I have covered another one of the fairy tales in previous video. What I'll do, I'll link my playlist below where I'll discuss the Brothers Grimm and Hans Christian Andersen fairy tales, because I find it very interesting, especially because a lot of them are made into Disney movies, especially. And I grew up with Disney. I really love Disney, and the original versions are a bit darker to say the least. And I thought it'd be quite interesting to discuss them and see differences, and also the other works as well. So let's get cracking with this one. So, The Poor Boy in the Grave. There was once a poor shepherd boy whose father and mother were dead, and he was placed by the authorities in the house of a rich man, who was to feed him and bring him up. The man and his wife had, however, bad hearts, and were greedy and anxious about their riches, and vexed whenever anyone put a morsel of their bread in his mouth. The poor young fellow might do what he liked. He got little to eat, but only so many blows the more. One day he had to watch a hen and her chickens, but she ran through a quickset hedge with them, and a hawk, darted down instantly and carried her off through the air. The boy called thief, thief, rascal, with all the strength of his body, but what good did that do? The hawk did not bring back its prey again. The man heard the noise and ran to the spot, and as soon as he saw that the hen was gone, he fell in a rage and gave the boy such a beating that he could not stir for 2 days. Then he had to take care of the chickens without the hen, but now his difficulty was greater, for one ran here and other there. He thought he was doing a very wise thing when he tied them all together with a string, because then the hawk would not be able to steal any of them away from him. But he was very much mistaken. After 2 days from after oh sorry, I've lost where I am. 1 second, guys. So Boy is very much mistaken. After 2 days, worn out from running about and hunger, he fell asleep. The bird of prey came and seized one of the chickens, and as the others were tied fast to it, it carried them all off together, perched itself on a tree, and devoured them. The farmer was just coming home when he saw the misfortune. He got angry and beat the boy so mercifully that he was forced to lie in bed for several days. When he was on his legs again, the farmer said to him, "Thou art too stupid for me. I cannot make a herdsman of thee. Thou must go as errand boy." Then he sent him to the judge, to whom he was to carry a basket full of grapes, and he gave him a letter as well. On the way, hunger and thirst tormented the unhappy boy so violently that he ate two of the bunches of grapes. He took the basket to the judge, but when the judge had read the letter and counted the bunches, he said 2 clusters are wanting. The boy confessed quite honestly that, driven by hunger and thirst, he had devoured the two which were waiting. The judge wrote a letter to the farmer and asked for the same number of grapes again. These also the boy had to take to him with a letter. As he again was so extremely hungry and thirsty, he could not help it, and again ate 2 bunches. But first he took the letter out of the basket, put it under a stone, and seated himself thereon, in order that the letter might not see and betray him. The judge, however, again made him give an explanation about the missing bunches. "Ah," said the boy, how have you learnt that? The letter could not know about it, for I put it under a stone before I did." The judge could not help laughing at the boy's simplicity, and sent the man a letter wherein he cautioned him to keep the poor boy better, and not let him want for meat and drink, and also that he was to teach him what was right and what was wrong. "I will soon show thee the difference," said the hard man. "If thou wilt eat, thou must work, and if thou dost anything wrong, thou shalt be quite sufficiently taught by blows." The next day he sent him a hard task. He was to chop 2 bundles of straw for food for the horses, and then the man threatened, "In 5 hours," said he, "I shall be back again, and if the straw is not cut to chaff by that time, I will beat thou until thou canst not move a limb." The farmer went with his wife, the manservant, and the girl to the yearly fair, and left nothing behind for the boy but a small bit of bread. The boy seated himself on the bench and began to work with all of his might. As he got warmer over it, he put his little coat off and threw it on the straw. In his terror, lest he should not get done in time, but he kept constantly cutting, and in his haste, without noticing it, he chopped his little coat as well as the straw. He became aware of the misfortune too late. There was no repairing it. "Ah," he cried, now all this is over with me. The wicked man did not threaten me for nothing. If he comes back and sees what I have done, he will kill me. Rather than that, I will take my own life." The boy had once heard the farmer's wife say, "I have a pot with poison in it under my bed." She, however, had only said that to keep away greedy people, for there was honey in it. The boy crept under the bed, brought out the pot, and ate all that was in it. "Oh, I do not know," said he. "Folks say death is bitter, but it tastes very sweet to me." It is no wonder that the farmer's wife was so often longed for death. He seated himself in a little chair and was prepared to die, but instead of becoming weaker, he felt himself strengthened by the nourishing food. It cannot have been poison, thought he, but the farmer once said there was a small bottle of poison for flies in the box in which he keeps his clothes. That no doubt will be the true poison and bring death to me. It was, however, no poison for flies, but Hungarian wine. The boy got out the bottle and emptied it. "This death tastes sweet too," said he, but shortly after, when the wine began to melt into his brain and stupefy him, he thought his end was drawing near. "I feel that I must die," said he. "I will go away to the churchyard and seek a grave." He staggered out, reached the churchyard, and laid himself in a newly dug grave. He lost his senses more and more. In the neighbourhood was an inn where a wedding was being kept. When he heard the music, he fancied he was already in paradise, until at length he lost all consciousness. The poor boy never woke again. The heat of the strong wine and the cold night dew deprived him of life, and he remained in the grave in which he had laid himself. When the father heard the news of the boy's death, heard the news of the boy's death, he was terrified and afraid of being brought to justice. Indeed, his distress took such a powerful hold of him that he fell fainting to the ground. His wife, who was standing on the hearth with a pan of hot fat, ran to him to help him, but the flames started against the pan. The whole house caught fire. In a few hours it lay in ashes, and the rest of the years they had to live, they passed in poverty and misery, tormented by the pangs of consciousness. So that was The Poor Boy in the Grave. So that was quite an interesting one. I like how it kind of said that, because of the farmer's wife, not giving the boy enough food, and not wanting to spend money on the boy for basic, essentials. And then when the boy passed away, they have that fire, and then they end up in poverty and misery, and they've got to, spend that time, reflecting on what they've done. It's definitely showing that karma always gets you. But yeah, I really enjoyed that one. It was darker than what I thought it would be. I didn't think it'd be all sunshine and rainbows just by the title, but yeah, I really enjoyed that one. I think it gave a good story as well, to be fair. But what I'll do, I'll leave a link to this in the comments below so you can have read through it at your own pace. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like and subscribe. It really helps me out. And if you have any suggestions for anything you'd like me to cover on this channel, let me know either in comments below, on my Instagram, on my X, or through email, or the links are in my YouTube bio for you. and I'll see you all in the next one.